Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Killeen. I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. I got Priest and Officer Abiyar with me, you know what I'm saying? Priest and Officer Karkazai in the building, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and clap it up. This is the Feast of Purim. So I first just want to say Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shema Latham Bashim, Yahshua to the sisters. Understand this particular feast day is a memorial, you know what I'm saying? And we're about to go ahead and get into the, you know what I'm saying, right into it, you know what I'm saying, the why we observe this memorial, why we observe Purim, you know what I'm saying, what it means, and, you know what I'm saying, the story behind all that. So let's go ahead and get into it. You know, before we start, I just want to say that you know, and I believe it's Romans 15 or 16 where it says that the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. You understand? And you know, the scriptures also say that there's nothing new under the sun, right? We can look at the records of our people and how they dealt with their oppression and the spirit that they operated in for them to be put into the records and memorialized. You know, within the ISUPK, we also memorialize, you know what I'm saying, our heroes. You understand, like the men who stand strong. Why? Because we want to keep a record that in each generation of our people that stand up, you know what I'm saying, on this culture, on these laws, on these morals, that and show bravery and zeal, you know what I'm saying, in the spirit of the Most High, the spirit of the Lord, that we remember them. You know what I'm saying? And Commander General Yohana has made that a part of our, you know what I'm saying, a part of our culture, you know what I mean, to do that. You know what I'm saying? You need it, Aaron? Hey, I'm good. No, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I'm too wild. You know what I'm saying? We made that a part of our culture. You understand? So, like the Kentucky 8, you understand? And, you know what I'm saying? Like the bravery that they showed, you know what I'm saying? When they went to camp and they were surrounded by, you know what I'm saying, you know, people who didn't want them to do, you know what I'm saying, what the Lord commanded us as priests and prophets. No, you could turn it off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm too wild on that. Y'all need to speak up if y'all not. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, and also like, and we and Commander General Yohana ordered that we have a memorial, you know what I'm saying, in recognition of their bravery and their zeal. You understand? Also with the mission to Acuna, when brothers went, you know what I'm saying, into cartel level 4 territory, you know what I'm saying, and went to go feed our brothers, you know what I'm saying, that were under the bridge, you know what I'm saying, our Levite brothers, the Haitians, you know what I'm saying, that brave act was memorialized. Also the KC4, you understand, and that's just in the tradition of what our people do, because we want to remind our people to be inspired to you know what I mean, to fear the Most High, to not fear anybody else but the Most High, and to stand for your nation and for your people. So those are memorials. So these are not like the feast. This is not the feast day that was written according to Moses, because when this event took place, Moses had already come and gone and written down what the Lord had laid down as far as like the feast days that we actually have to observe according to the law. But this was also observed by, you know what I'm saying, our people, because these were righteous acts, you know what I'm saying, that were conducted by our people after Moses. Like also like when we have Hanukkah, you understand, right, where the Maccabees, you know what I'm saying, Matthias and his sons, you know what I mean, show bravery and heart, you know what I'm saying, in taking back the temple, fighting against our enemies, our oppressors, you know what I'm saying, and rededicating the temple to give our people a place to be able to serve and worship their power. You understand? So that's just giving context to what a memorial is. You understand? So you won't find this in the law, but it is in our records. You understand? So that's that. So if you could go ahead and start with the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. We're going to go ahead and get into it.
It's the book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Chapter 1, verse 1.
It's like chapter 1 and verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, This is Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia.
So right here is showing you the scope of Ahasuerus' rule. Now, who was Ahasuerus? Ahasuerus was a son of Darius. Okay. Now, and really his name is Xerxes the first, but they're calling him. This is like what the Hebrews refer to him as. You understand? Um, Darius was the ruler of Persia who gave Nehemiah and Ezra, you know what I'm saying, the authorization to go back to Judea and rebuild the temple after the temple was destroyed. When did the temple get destroyed? The temple got destroyed during the time period of the Babylonians. You understand? The Babylonians when they took us captive, this is in the time of like Jeremiah, right? You know, what I mean, Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The Babylonians took us captive, right? The last king, I believe, was Zedekiah. And, you know, he put out Zedekiah's eyes. And before he put out Zedekiah's eyes, he killed his sons in front of him and then blinded them. You understand? And we were under Babylonian captivity for a period of time. And then the Lord raised up Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? You can find that, like, I think it's like Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 45 maybe, or something like that, where he says, my anointed Cyrus, meaning that he chose Cyrus to switch rulership, to have a changing of the guard of who was going to be ruling over his people, or who was going to be the world power. This is the same vision that Nebuchadnezzar had when you had the statue with the gold, and it was breaking down into like different metals. This is showing like different rulerships or different kingdoms that were going to be in power over the earth, right? So Cyrus was set up by the Most High to take power from Babylon, and when that happened, Daniel was in office up under Nebuchadnezzar, and then when Cyrus took over, Daniel was still in office. He was still in his position. You understand? We like as Israelites, we've always held positions of power and influence in serving the Most High, even when we were under captivity. You understand? And we noticed because why? Who put Daniel in the lion's den? It wasn't the Babylonians. It was the Persians. Right. They was hating on Daniel, and then they tried to get Daniel taken out. So this is a history of us being surrounded by the heathens, them being our enemies, and them trying to conspire against us. So it's the same as, like, you know, being here in America. You have administrations that swap out. You know what I mean? You got Commander General Yohana. I mean, is you know what I'm saying? With his age, who knows, man? He probably, I mean, shoot. I mean, he probably was, I would say maybe from Carter from Nixon, maybe Carter, all the way down to right now with Biden. Right. He's seen many changes in rulership. You know what I'm saying? This is the same thing that Daniel saw. So when Daniel was under Nebuchadnezzar, he saw him ruling, and he saw the Lord come in bringing Cyrus. Then Daniel was up under Cyrus' son Darius, and then from Darius, after Darius ruled, then it passed on to Xerxes. And this is where we find this right here, where Xerxes at this point, he's not just ruling over Persia and over Babylon, or the land that Babylon used to be, but now he's come and he's combined his rulership from what you want to call from India, because the Persians are who you call Elam. Elam is who you call the East Indians today, the people with the little red dots and all that, and who always, when they talk, they shake their head like this, back and forth. You understand? Like, that's who they are. So this particular king had combined the Medes and the Persians, and that territory was a vast territory. It was 127 provinces, all the way from India down to Ethiopia. So you can imagine like the scope of that. This was a very large kingdom. You understand? Babylon, when Babylon ruled, it was a very large kingdom, but this was large as well. Keep reading out.
Over 107 and 20 provinces.
Right. So a 7 and 20 just means 127 provinces. You understand? So it was passed down from Cyrus to Darius, from Darius to Xerxes, and this is the time period we're in now. So these are the leaders that is getting handed down to, and all the while, the constant is that Israel is under captivity under these heathens. You understand? But even in that, the Lord is still giving us space and positions to be able to help and affect our people, which means what? Just because you're in captivity doesn't mean that the Most High won't set up our leaders to be able to truly help and affect our people. And for us right now here in the land of the North, that's Commander General Yohana. Now, he don't hold a government position per se, but like I said, it shows you that you can still serve the Most High power and maintain your culture and maintain your morality and maintain these laws. You understand? And still have an impact and be able to affect your people for their welfare. Keep reading.
Verse 2. That in those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace.
Which was in Shushan. Can you look that up for me, somebody? Where Shushan was located at? The location of Shushan. Shushan province. Shushan. So that's Shushan.
I think I got it.
Okay. Go ahead, Art.
It says, on the outskirts of the sea of Shushan, western Iran, lie the remains of Shushan, the winter palace of the kings of Persia and the setting.
Okay, so now we know the location. So this palace was, we said it was on the border, on the outskirts of Iran.
Okay.
Right. And I mean, we don't have a map right now, but if you could bring up, go ahead.
Western Iran.
Western Iran. If there's a map, my guess is you're gonna see India somewhere around Iran. You understand? But these are the Elamites, man. You understand? The Persians. But also in Salakia, I believe, I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Iran is the Persians as well. So it's probably a mixture of both of those peoples. But Iran is the Persians. You understand? So I think that is Iran. So now this is the location of this palace. All right, keep reading.
In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Right. So like as in with Nimrod, like as in Nebuchadnezzar, right? The same as what America and the United Nations try to do. They try to bring all the countries together and rule over all the nationalities in the countries. You know what I'm saying? To gain more power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like what America say, united we stand, divided we fall. Like it's trying to bring in a combination of alliances, but he was successful at it. You understand? So he had the power of the Medes and the power of the Persians, and he brought that together. All the rulers that were over those provinces, he had a conglomerate, a commission. You understand? And in him consolidating that power and bringing it, under his rulership, he threw a feast. You understand? Go ahead.
When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 104 score days.
104 score days. What's 104 score? 180 days. 180. And what's that? That's half a year.
Right.
So he had a party for 6 months.
Right.
That's a long party, man. You know what I'm saying? You used to having your feast for the weekend. Some of y'all out there who need to get, you know what I'm saying, an understanding of the truth. You don't just have a birthday now. Now it's your birthday month.
Right.
Now you claim the whole month. Well, this heathen did it for a whole 6 months, man. Back to back for his ability to unite his kingdom. Go ahead.
And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Right. So then he actually has the party for 7 days after 6 months of showing the power of his kingdom with all the kingdoms that were united together. Right. Keep reading.
Where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black and marble.
Yeah, we don't really know about that. We be having the gender reveals and the birthday parties, and the pillars be like plastic, the little drapes and all that. Sisters be getting a little decor on, you know what I'm saying? Which is in their spirit to do so. But this was like actual marble, like this was like fine linen. You understand? Like it was, the top of the top, and basically it was laid out. Go ahead.
And they gave them drink in vessels of gold,
Hmm.
the vessels being diverse one from another.
So it's one thing to have gold goblets. You know what I mean? You got thousands of the same type of gold goblet, but he
Right.
made sure that each goblet had a different design to it.
Right.
So they showing out. They showing out, man. He's letting it be known, like, this is how my kingdom gets down. All right. Dang. Well, look. We look for a new administration. We just want we want a PPP loan.
Right.
We get happy with a when the tax returns like a stimulus check. That's what we are. Oh man, this Trump. You know what I'm saying? Obama. We getting the stimulus. We get happy over that. He's like, I'm handing out different gold goblets and wine. Y'all can come and feast for 7 days, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to get to get the people like, okay, it's how he gonna run his rulership and run his kingdom. Go ahead.
And royal wine in abundance, according to the state of the king.
According to the state of the king. What does that mean? According to his power. You know what I'm saying? According to his wealth and his riches. He's showing that he's the man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That he's the man. This is what y'all sisters would call a high value man. This heathen was high value. He was high value. And what y'all would call today, see, right now they talk about the 6-figure brother, right? The 6 figures, 6-pack over 6 feet, right? The top 1%. That's the conversation of social media, right? So at his level, he's in the trillionaire status. You know what I'm saying? It's an Elon on the way to becoming a trillionaire. Xerxes is at a trillionaire status.
Right.
He got it. Not only that, but not only is he wealthy, but he's also a military leader. He's the commander in chief over 127 provinces, not states, but countries. Go ahead.
And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel. For so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Basically, he was like, for these 7 days, y'all can get down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where brothers was used to being on Shamar, they was on duty. You know what I'm saying? That's like in the military now. Like, you can't drink while you on duty.
Right.
But he made it law to where, like, look, all my officers, everybody who holds office and holds a position, y'all ain't got to worry about all that. Y'all can drink to y'all pleasure because we did a great thing. We done brought these kingdoms together, and I'm in rulership. I'm letting y'all drink according to y'all pleasure. Right. Y'all can drink as much as y'all need to drink. Go ahead.
On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mahuman, Bitza, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagatha, Zathar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king.
So these 7, he's happy. The king's sitting back watching all this. He's watching all the power that he's accumulated, the men that's under him. Everybody's drinking wine, like everybody's in a good mood. And then he's feeling good. And then he called for his 7 chamberlains. These are the 7 men that, handle his business, his affairs. Right. You know what I'm saying? He had, these are his personal officials. Go ahead.
To bring Vashti the queen before the king.
Vashti.
To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal.
Okay, so now he called his 7 trusted chamberlains to go and get his wife, the queen. Now we know in Israel we don't have any queens. You understand? And we know what that word queen means. You understand? We have princesses in Israel, but he's a heathen, so they got queens. Heathens have queens. Right. But he called for his queen to come, and he sent his 7 trusted men to go get her, to bring her to him. And really, if you think about it, it's really like the level of respect, right? For him to send 7 brothers to go get one woman, right? And you know what I mean? So, it was to what's the word? It was to let her know that it was a serious request, right? It wasn't casual, because they're going to present this to her like in a manner as if he would have sent them off as ambassadors to negotiate with another country, right, or something, or to call upon another head of state. I'm gonna send my chamberlains there, my messengers there, so they know it's real. That's giving a lot of credit right there. Right. Go ahead.
To show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
So he been sipping, he feeling good, and when he feeling good, what he thinking about? His wife, his woman, and how beautiful she is, and he wants her to present herself, you know what I mean, as his wife, with the crown on, with the crown royal. That's what it said, the crown royal, right? So yeah, come and show. But that's what these brothers be on, right?
Right.
They want that girl coming out. You know what I'm saying? They want to show her off. Okay, I feel you. You feeling it? You want to show her off to the people? Okay, let's go. Let's see what happens, man.
But the queen Vashti refused to come.
Huh? She did what?
She refused to come.
She ain't skip down the aisle happy and run down to see him.
Refused to come.
She refused to come
at the king's commandment by his chamberlains.
Damn.
Therefore, what's like?
No, I mean, damn.
Right.
She refused to come.
Right.
I don't want to just what's that? What's the Kevin Hart meme? Don't just skip over that. Like you ain't just say what you said.
Right.
Right? She refused to come. Go ahead, Art, please. Yeah, please.
So like it, sir, like just hearing this, like the way you breaking it down, like how heavy it is, like it just make it so much deeper because he just got done uniting all these provinces, building this empire, had thrown this big party, you know what I mean, with all the you know what I mean, everything laid out, all this expensive stuff that we can't even fathom, and still, you know what I mean, still it's like she is for her to still refuse. That just make it heavy. So it's like
you want to check on that? It lets on some of the hands. But I think we skipped over something. We skipped over something. Read verse 9 again, and take your time on verse 9. Because she refused to come, but there's something before that we missed. I think. Yeah, take your time with that.
Verse 9. Also, Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
So while this king is having a party for the princes and the leaders, right, that are up under him, Vashti's having her own feast.
Right.
With the sisters. She having a whole lot of sisterhood. She got, and where is it at? It's in the what?
In the royal house.
So she's in his house. She's in his house having this feast with all her sisters. It's just women there. So you know how that goes. It's going to be laid out. They having whatever they want, whatever foods they want, whatever pastries, music.
Right.
They they didn't got done up.
Right.
All the service to help with the makeup and the hair and the outfits, right? Drinking wine, talking that talk, or whatever. And in the same way that he's doing his for 7 days, she's doing hers for 7 days. So she done had 7 days to herself with all her, whoever she invited,
right?
Which is probably the wives of the officials that were there up under his rule.
Right.
So when he come and send his 7 chamberlains, they're leaving from his palace to go to his actual house to go ask her to come and present herself. So you gotta picture this now. I want y'all to picture the scene. She's there with all these women, right? And she's at the head of the table because she's the queen. And they come and say, "Hey, the king wants you to present yourself in the crown royal. You know what I'm saying? To come present yourself, before his audience." No,
right?
I ain't doing that.
Right.
After 7 days of sisterhood and everything that she could want, her answer was no. So I want to get that context. I think we skipped over that verse. So it wasn't like that. He's like, hey, yo, come over here.
Right.
She's having a party in his house. In his house. And the thing is that whatever her position was, it was only because she was married to who? To him.
Right.
That's where it came from. But she said no. So now let's go ahead and keep reading.
Sir.
I think we had
Still on 12.
yeah. Start from 12. Yeah.
But the queen Vashti refused to come. So like this is the book of Esther, chapter 1 and verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains.
Uh-huh.
Therefore was the king very wroth.
No, he's toxic. He got toxic masculinity.
Therefore,
he's toxic though. He mad. What he mad about? Why you mad? Because she didn't want to come.
Right.
What you mad about? You toxic and you insecure. Why can't she have her fun with her sisters and do her thing? Right? Girls trip.
Damn.
It's girls trip. What you insecure about? Let them have their fun.
Right.
What he mad about? That ain't alpha. Actually, you know what? Hey, Cargazai. Zaza, she was a little sassy. Ain't that what they saying now? What you mad for? You sassy? You getting emotional? Right? Ain't he sassy? He getting mad. What he mad for? Ain't that what no, not sassy. That's what they say now, sassy. Got a little sassy. Because a real man wouldn't be upset about that. Because a real man, he know he the king. What he mad about? He ruling over all these men. He got armies. Why he mad? Because she won't come. What's the big deal? Now, that's that side of it, right? But how does that look? Because if a man has rule over an entire kingdom, but he commands his wife to present herself and she says no, what does that mean? So he rules 127 provinces, countries, but this woman can tell him no? Oh, so you don't even rule over your own house. I don't know. I mean, women empowerment, right? Right. I mean, just because he's the man, don't mean he could just, whatever he tell me to do, I gotta do. Okay. All right. But I'm gonna say this. This right here, this is why the Lord said it's nothing new under the sun. You understand? And the Lord said what he said in Genesis when he spoke to Eve. He said, your desire shall be towards your husband, and he shall negotiate with you. He shall have equality with you. Right? He shall take heed to your counsel. I believe what the Lord said was that he shall rule over thee.
Right.
Right? He gonna rule over you. That's what the Lord said. But this exposes the lie of our current culture. Well, I mean, if a man's a real man, when I'm in his presence, I'll just naturally submit. I'll naturally do what he says if he's checking all the boxes. Ain't that what they say? Am I tripping? I thought that's what I be hearing in the wind. Nowadays, if he check all the boxes, then I'm gonna naturally submit. A real man's gonna bring the femininity out of me. Well, what's in you right now? If he gotta bring it out of you, what's in you right now? What you operating in? I mean, I'm in my masculine because I gotta do all this and do all that and do all this work. I gotta work all these hours and I come home and I gotta cook and clean and I gotta do all this. So of course I'm gonna be in my masculine. I mean, if you a queen and you holding a feast for 7 days in his house, I'm assuming all the servants and the wine and the food and the luxury is being provided by him. So what reason would you have to say no? I mean, I'm asking. I don't want this to be what y'all think? Why y'all think she said no? Is there a mic over there? Anybody got an idea about why Vashti told him no and she's the queen royal? Anybody? I mean, I said, do y'all have an answer?
Well, she felt like it.
Oh, she felt like it. She felt like it. And see, I agree, sis. She felt like it. And it's a lot of sisters who are taking on what the heathens do. Because you know what? It's a lot of heathen women that do ridiculous things because they feel like it. But the Lord didn't give that to the daughters of Zion, to the daughters of Israel to conduct themselves. He gave us a culture in order to operate in. Because even though these are heathens, one thing that they understand, what you're about to see right now, is that how easily women are influenced. How much the act of one woman can impact all women.
Right.
You ever have a conversation where you're discussing a certain type of woman, right? And then what do women do? For some reason, their frequency goes to, well, we not all like that.
Right.
It's like they feel for all women,
Right.
right? If I hear somebody discussing men, right, I don't be like, then that's me too.
Right.
I don't include myself in it. I'm just listening to what they talking about. But for some reason, not all women, but for some reason, a lot of women, when they hear women being discussed, they feel like connected to other women. It's like this bond thing.
Right.
But it's real. And we're going to find out. It is real. This is why you have the beehive. This is why you have the Barbies.
Right.
I mean, nowadays you got brothers that's Barbies too. Brothers in the beehive.
Yeah, the hoochie baby.
Of the it was Sexy Red, the hoochie mamas,
Yeah, hoochie baby.
or the coochie mamas,
Yeah,
Salagi, the hoochie mamas,
It's crazy.
right? And now you got brothers that are in them too, of the LGBTQ community, of our brothers in that community that are participants. But I'm saying the women. Listen, it's some women out there who treat Beyonce like she's Michelle Obama. She can do no wrong because she can dance and sing on the stage, right? They idolize, like, even when you hear about when you address a woman's lifestyle, they'll say, well, I mean, what's the problem? I mean, Cardi B don't cook,
Right.
she don't clean, and she got her husband. They'll look at celebrities and idolize them and use it as a frame for how they want to govern their life and how they deal with their man.
Right.
But what's going on now? What's going on then? Keep reading, Knock.
Sir.
It said the king was angry.
Sir.
Man, the king was sassy. Ooh-wee.
Therefore, the king was very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
It burned in him, huh? Let me tell you something, sisters. This is for any man who has a wife. When your husband asks, if what your husband is asking you to do is not unlawful, and you tell him just out, no, I'm not trying to do that. That's usually the reaction. It's usually the reaction. Now we might keep it P, keep it play. You know, I don't keep it P. I let it be known. The raw. It don't just be burned on the inside. Sometimes it'll come out. I let it be known what it is. But you got a lot of brothers in the school that are more seasoned. They gonna keep it P. You're like, all right, no sweat. But believe me, that's getting marked off.
Right.
It's getting marked off. What type of sister you are? Because why? If we got to go out here and fight the oppressor, you know what I'm saying? These heathens, right? And then we got to come home and have that fight too. Nah, you're not helping. I always ask the question: if the Lord made you to be a helpmeet, are you helping or are you hurting? You should ask yourself that question. Whenever you feel like, man, I don't want to do that. Why I got to do that? Ask yourself: am I helping him or am I hurting him? Right. Am I trying to help me or am I trying to hurt him? Is me helping him hurting me? But how could you helping him hurt you unless you're not one body?
Right.
Unless you your own body. And he's a separate body. Just something to think about. Keep reading, Knock.
Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew the law and judgment.
Hold on, wait. What do these wise men know? They knew the what?
Knew the times.
Dang, do they knew the times? Listen, under Command General Yohana, the ISUPK, the priests and prophets under Command General Yohana, we know the times because we're under the prophets of the Lord.
Right.
So we know the times. We see what's going on. What's being put into the air.
Right.
It's almost like oxygen now. It's just getting breathed in. You know. Keep reading. They knew the times, right?
And the next unto him was Karshena, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsena, and Mecuman, and 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. Right.
So he went to his men to get what? What did he get? What did he go? He said he spoke to the wise men that knew the times, for this was the king's manner and his rulership, who knew the law and judgment. So what did he go to get? The king. He's the king and the ruler and can say and do what he want to do. If he say it's law, what did he go get? Go ahead, sis.
Counsel.
He went to get what?
Counsel.
Counsel. Counsel. He felt dishonored, offended at his woman telling him no, and he said, went to his, you know what I mean, the first in his kingdom, and you know, what do you think I should? How should I handle this? He's a heathen, but this it's a wise thing to do, right? You angry, you know he emotional, but he's like, let me go get counsel on this. How am I handle this? Go ahead.
And verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law?
According to the law. How should we handle this according to the law? Keep reading.
Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
Good night. She have not performed the commandment. Because, okay, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Was it a big deal? No, I'm saying what she did, the action that she took. Was it a big deal? I want to hear from y'all why what, if you think it wasn't a big deal, or if it was, why or why not?
It was a big deal
Why?
because she's supposed to do it.
That's it?
Because he sent 7 chamberlains to go get her.
Uh-huh.
It was a big feast.
So it was a big deal because she just didn't do what he said?
No, because that's her husband. She's supposed to do it.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else?
It was a big deal because there was a large crowd, so there was more witness.
More what?
Witnesses.
More witnesses. Interesting. Any more on that?
With the witnesses, then word of mouth gets out.
So you said the sister said that it was more witnesses because she refused in front of an audience. Right? So what is that? What do you feel like that looks like to the witnesses? If anything.
Like he weak. He can't control his woman.
Ooh, wait. Give that sister a hand. The way that you deal with your husband either shows it either strengthens him, his reputation, or it weakens it. Right. You either strengthen him as a man or you weaken him. So all the sisters answer correctly. You can listen. There's reality and perception, but perception can be stronger than reality. You understand? And as we learned with Captain Yatazak in his class on scripture breakdown, perception is more important than reality because it becomes reality. And for a king who just united 127 provinces, his wife telling him, nah, it caused every leader that is observing him that he rules over, like, if he can't rule over his woman, how he gonna rule over me? Right. What I would say is this, is that America teaches our sisters, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and it's gotten into the household because you hear a lot of our sisters say that, because you don't really hear it in any other culture, right, where they're being taught to be independent, a strong, independent woman. And it's crazy because it's almost like witchcraft. It's like soothsaying, right? Right. Strong, independent woman, when really it's creating the opposite. Right. Because you would think that it's just she's independent of what? Go ahead, Art.
Independent over from him. So like
of what? Of him, right? But now you would think, okay, I don't need a man, right? I can function and sustain myself without the help or assistance of a man, right? Now, but what else is she independent of? Anybody?
She's independent of, I'm gonna say, law. Like she doesn't want to take any kind of rule over her or questioning her actions.
That's heavy. No, get a sister hand. That's heavy too. I give her that too. But that's not what I was looking for. But that's a good point, sis. She says she's independent of law and doesn't want anything to rule over her, right? But what I was going to say is that she's also independent of her children. We see that now. What's the evidence of this? Because it's not just strong, independent woman from a man, right, but they're independent of even their obligation to the children.
Right.
Because I saw a video. I can't pull it up right now, but I saw a video where a sister is bragging about. Well, she's not. She's acting like she's upset about it. But to me, it was bragging. She had an OnlyFans, and she's like, "Yeah, I have an OnlyFans, but my son is just getting made fun of at school because all his friends watch me on OnlyFans. It's like they want to date me and all that, and they're at home watching it. You know what I mean? And asking him about me, and it's like it's affecting my son. But I mean, shoot, I never deal with them like that. But I mean, I can't control it. But as she was talking about it, you could see the vanity. Really, it turned her on that younger men desired her. Why did that turn her on? Because men of any common sense and understanding would never deal with her. She was tatted up. You know what I'm saying? Looked like she was about like 36 to maybe like 32. Well, I would say 34 to like 42 in age. And she had been clearly, if your last resort is OnlyFans, you don't really have any self-respect. And now you're independent of even how your actions affect your son. So you're not just a strong, independent woman of black men. You don't need black men. You don't even care about or need the respect of your children. This is what is produced, and this hasn't been promoted to any other nationality except for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. And these strong, independent black women who say that men are sassy, well, my thing is like, well, who raised these men? Is it the black men who are deadbeats? Well, if we're deadbeats, clearly we're not raising them, right? You haven't given them to us.
Right.
So who has reared this crop of sassy, insecure, toxic black men? Go ahead, Art.
Well, Salaki, sir, just to answer your question as well, like not only do it make you independent from your husband, your children, but it make you independent from your nation. The like for us, we got our laws that protect us, that make us great, like it say in the scriptures. But like for us to be independent or to try to be independent, strong, independent, our women become independent from the entire nation. It make the entire nation look crazy.
Yeah, but see, you gotta understand, there ain't no nation.
Right.
They like WAC 100. I'm American. I'm American.
Right.
I love all people, unless they do something to me. I'm an American. Their nation is America. And in America, in the United States, there is a statue in the harbor of New York. It's a statue there. And it's a strong, powerful woman. She got her hand up with a torch. It's the Statue of Liberty. They liberated Ark. They listen. The concept of a nation. See, you saying that Ark because you come into the knowledge of the truth. But our people are not looking at themselves as a nation. Their nation is the United States.
Right.
It's America. We here. This is why this story of Esther is so important. This is why it's so critical. Because, like I said earlier, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. See, the Lord winks at our ignorance. It's not, listen, it's not our sisters' fault because they have been reared and subjected to becoming products of their environment. It almost, like I heard sister say, well, had I not gone through what I gone through, I wouldn't have did OnlyFans, but I didn't have a choice because of what happened to me and how I was raised and what I went through and the poverty I was in. I didn't have a choice. That's why Commander Johanna is the leader of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because why? We are giving our culture back to our people to let them know you do have a choice.
Right.
And even though you have no choice, there's only one choice. But what you're choosing is death. But right now, they don't know that it's death. Right now, people think that what you can earn leads to life. If I get more money, I can solve these problems. Biggie already did the song with Mace. There's more money, more problems. Because now you got more money. What you got now? More taxes,
Right.
more things you're purchasing.
Right.
You're really increasing the problem.
Right.
Because the problem is not money. Now, is money a defense? Yeah, money's a defense. But you're seeing right here, this king has all the money. He has all the money. She has all the money. So what's missing?
The respect.
Yes, that's true. But respect for what? Well, now I don't even want to just say him. Because respect ain't a one-way street, right? It's because the Lord said, he was talking about, I ain't gonna get into the details, but it's like First Samuel, but he says, those that honor me, I will honor. But those that despise me, I will lightly esteem. Right. So even the Lord is saying, if you respect me, I'm gonna respect you. If you honor me, I'm gonna honor you. Because it says the children of Israel cried out, and he had respect unto their cry. He had respect for them. Right. When they cried out, yo, we need help. The oppression is too much. He heard them and he had respect unto it. So it's a mutual thing. The respect, what's missing is the respect for order. Right. Because right now, what you see is when it says he went and got the men that knew the times, it says that people will come and there will be a changing of the law and a changing of the times. That's what's going on right now. When you see, when you have, listen, Captain Zara he spoke on this. But what's that sister's name? Tasha K, who be doing all the rumors and stuff like that. She was on stage with a transgender, right? I'm good to say that on here? Transgender, right? Of the LGBT community. This was a man who was in transition to be a woman. And Tasha K is addressing him as a woman, like, hey. And this brother tried to fight her. And she was like, I got 3 niggers. I say niggers. I got 3 brothers that will deal with you. Don't try to come, right? And the brothers came and defended her because he was portraying himself as a woman and thought that under that guise he could assault her because he's a woman now, right? What is that? You're not respecting the order. You're trying to change. This is in the Bible where it says your turning of things upside down will be your undoing. Your undoing. It's calling the bitter sweet and the sweet bitter, the good evil and the evil good. It's changing the order of things, and we think that there's room for that. Sisters feel like there's room for that. Well, I mean, I gotta do everything he say. Why I gotta do everything he say? Why I gotta obey everything? Because the Lord says so. Because the Lord says so. And like the sister brought out, you brought weakness to the kingdom. You brought weakness to the kingdom. So, like, go ahead and keep reading now.
Verse 16. And Mamu.
Hold on, real quick. In Salakia, what happened with this sister? What happened with this situation here? It's the same thing. See, right now, sisters are upset at the transgenders and how they're trying to come into their spaces, right, and invade their spaces. Now they got a battle for their, the definition of what a woman is. But who are the ones that were defending them in the first place? It wasn't us. You have these weak men now say, well, I don't judge. Why? Because they want to still be able to have the conversation with women and be in the space of women. Right. Because who are the ones defending them? I know when I was a kid and Daquan wanted to go do double dutch with his female cousins, and we over there playing football or shadow boxing, and when we say, man, hey man, get over here, man. Stop messing with the girls and all that. Well, here come Auntie. Leave Daquan alone. Right. He all right. Right. Yeah, and then the sisters, cousins, leave him alone. He can double dutch with us. Right. And y'all double dutching with y'all wrists like this.
Right. That's crazy.
And Daquan over there doing like, right. And y'all was okay with it. Right. And now y'all battling men who call themselves women who got the strength of a man. This is why the serpent always goes for the woman. And allowing even a little bit of that, it's like COVID. It's going to spread like a plague, man. Right. Salakia, go ahead.
And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, had not done wrong to the king only.
Oh, my goodness. Read that again, Ak.
Vashti, the queen, has not done wrong to the king only.
What does that mean? No, go ahead, Mike. What does that mean?
Wait,
It's okay, sis. Go ahead.
She committed treason.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's starting an anarchy.
Anarchy. What you mean by that? What does anarchy mean? Anarchy means what? Hold on, we're gonna get the definition of anarchy. You said she's starting anarchy.
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
Like turning the people that were at once respected him, and they're starting to not respect him because they see weakness in him.
I think that word you use is an excellent word, but yes, sis. But you the definition, if you could. What's anarchy?
The definition of anarchy is an absence of government, a state of lawlessness, or political disorder due to the absence of government authority.
Good night. So when, like the sister said, it was before witnesses, and like you said, she's starting anarchy. This is the seeds of anarchy. But the impact, it's not just her saying, I don't feel like going. And a lot of times, you not respecting your husband, it feel like it's a small thing. But it's the small tears that create the big rips. You know what I'm saying? You know, a tsunami that ain't just a tsunami is a big wave, but it's made up of little droplets,
Right.
little beads of water. And the anarchy is what? It's the if she don't respect her husband, it goes down to the base of institutions, the entire order of all structure and respect. So if she gotta listen to me, then why gotta listen to him? And if I gotta listen to him, then why can't I be my own king? It's chaos. It's chaos. And the Lord built this world on order.
Right.
On order. Go ahead, keep reading. Salakia.
Come, sir. She has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Why? Because if he give them a command, what they got to do? Under what though? If a regular citizen, if the king gave an order to a regular citizen and he said no, right? And this is what y'all don't understand. For real, I'm about to get real transparent with y'all. We're men. We're men. Meaning that as a man, respect is everything. Right. As a man.
Right.
And us as men in this school, we say Khan, Adawan Khan.
Right.
Sir, yes, sir. To other men. We follow orders.
Right.
We tell other men, hey, go, and they go, right? Come and they, not, Baba Kashar, if you could, right? They go and they go and they come and they come, right? So if this man who is a man who has the ability to take life and give life as I do, if he will say Khan on one Khan, then how is my rib, who's my property,
right,
my woman, telling me no? That is one of the. I'm telling y'all, it's one of the things in our heads where we're like, okay, no sweat. All right. It's a crazy thing to us that us as men, with all the pride that we have as men,
right,
that's how the Lord built us to be dominated or trampled upon by anybody. And we have the ability to humble ourselves and say, Khan on one Khan, but you telling us no? Okay. I just want to put that in y'all minds, like for y'all who are in the school, I'm saying. Imagine a man who's a supervisor at his job and he's over 40 people and he's giving out orders all day, right, and then he go home and his wife's like, I ain't gonna do that. You're tripping. It's happy wife, happy life.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna be clear with y'all. Men don't really care about the love part. Like y'all think. Y'all care about that, and the Lord built y'all like that because y'all are nurturers. So love, it motivates you, the tenderness, the affection, the knowing that he cares for you. But what men care about is the respect. I don't need chocolates and candies and I don't need all the kissy kiss. Just give me the respect. And that's going to make me want to give you the love. That's why in the scriptures it says wives, revere or honor your husbands. It don't say love your husbands. It says for the husbands to love the wives. It's a reason for that. Because the Lord built us to we want the respect. That's what motivates us. You know, if you feel like there's some love missing or some affection missing, give more respect, and I guarantee you will see more love.
Right.
All right, I'll leave that there. Keep reading.
Come on, sir. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women.
What? It's gonna come abroad to who?
Unto all women.
So now, when Usher, what was the sister's name? Not Alicia. We're gonna get to that too, but the one before that,
Oh, Kiki Palmer.
Kiki Palmer. When Usher was on stage and Kiki Palmer had that dress on with that thong under that sheer see-through dress, and he's over there doing his little stage flirt with her, and she turns around and shows him that, and then the husband says like, "Damn," publicly, and he did it publicly. Now he should have. Now I do say from a wisdom standpoint, he should have dealt with that privately.
Right.
But she did it publicly, which is why this king is going to address this situation with Vashti publicly because she disrespected him publicly. But the brothers, it came off like he was sassy. Like, oh, why would you do that? We got a child together. Like, why would you show yourself out there like that, right? And all the women came for him. And then the sister went and made a video with Usher. Like, nigga, fuck all that.
Right.
Like, I'm standing 10 toes down on what I did. Right? He didn't have no power to put her away. And even if he did, and even if he broke up with her, they just like, oh, she can get somebody else.
Right.
She's the prize, right? So what these wise men, these wise heathens understood was that what a woman who's in a position of influence, how she can impact the mindset of other women.
Right.
That's why when a woman is in a position of influence, it's so important for her to be that much more subjected to the power that's over her, the man or the husband that's over her, or her camp leader, or whatever you want to call it. It's so important because you are impacting the women who are watching you. But if you're showing disrespect to your husband, the eye rolling and the faces and all that, or I ain't finna do all that, if you're showing that, then they feeling like, well, dang, she doing it. You know how many times brothers and heard, well, this is over here doing this and the third.
Right.
What they got to do with you?
Right.
But it's here. It's the principle is here. Principle is here. So when we saw Usher do it again, I heard what's that? The Hamite name, the Hamite comedian, Blackston.
Oh, right.
He said Usher only tried with the light skinned brothers.
Damn.
He ain't did it with a dark skinned brother because he know.
Right.
I don't know if that's the case. I think Usher's just a villain. I think he's a disgusting individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when the thing with Alicia Keys occurred, good night. You had Swiss Beats say, "We don't deal with negativity over here. Concentrate on the performance." But it's almost like you're not even listening to the people. Men everywhere were like, dang, like, why would he do that?
Right.
All real men saw what that was. Sisters was like, well, righteous sisters was like, that's foul. But for the majority, they were like, what's the problem?
Right.
It's just a performance.
Right.
Because perception can be more important than reality, man. Now, the reality is maybe Alicia Keys would never step out on Swiss Beats and it's not an issue, right? In private, they're loyal to each other. But what did you show on stage to all the women watching? What did you show? That marriage don't really mean nothing.
Right.
Respecting your husband don't really amount to nothing if you're performing. If I'm performing, then me respecting my husband is secondary. These actresses who get in these movies and do these sex scenes, right? Imagine being a husband, bro, and your wife is an actress, and the acting job pays $10 million, and she has to do a sex scene with another man. Now she tell you, look, baby, I love you. It's just my job. And he's like, all right, baby, I understand. I'm not insecure. And then that movie is made and it streams and it plays and they giving her all. Damn, you did an excellent job. Damn, you saw how she got down up in that movie.
Right.
Ooh wee, he tore that up. But it's just a performance. Okay, so let's keep going. Offended everybody, right?
Right.
Read it from the top, Bach. Read it from the top.
Verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
That's why social media is so crazy, right? There wasn't even no social media back then. It's just they gonna hear. Hold on, she told the king now.
Right.
Why the hell I gotta listen to my husband?
It's all.
Sisters who've been in the truth for a period of time, and then you on Facebook putting your husband out there on Facebook, disrespecting your husband, and you talking about Jenna Muhammad, Commander Johanna, it's the truth, and da 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 da, and then all of a sudden you lose it and just you on Facebook putting your husband out there,
Right.
acting crazy. It was all UPK for the gender reveal.
Right.
UPK when you I'm married to such and such, officer such and such, priest and officer such and such. He gets you upset and you on Facebook wilding out. You'll know real love, sis, when he do this, that, and the third. Who you think is watching that?
Right.
It's sisters who just came into this thing and they watching. Oh, I mean, if she been there for 3 or 4 years, I mean, what's really going on with this organization?
Right.
Okay. I'm just letting you know. Go ahead.
When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Too much contempt and wrath. Where? In their households. What she did to you is going to affect us.
Right.
So we got to deal with this. Keep reading, Knock.
If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let him be written among the laws. Let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
It didn't even say that he was going to divorce her. It just said take away her position, right? She can't come see you no more. And then give what she had to somebody else. That sounds like good business to me. Right? If she not acting right, find one who will act right. And then let her have to live with that. Let her have to, because you can do what you want to do. You can go out there and leave your man if you want to. He went got somebody else, but he gonna let you be where you're at. Sit where you sit. Get him another young tender thing, right? And then let her. She ain't got no problem with saying "Kana Wakan."
Right.
She ain't got all the trauma and the damage and all that. She's like, okay, whatever you say goes, and then give all that energy to her. That's what it sounds like. Because you don't realize the impact of your conduct. How you ain't just damaging how he views you, but you're damaging his reputation amongst the people, and you're damaging the minds of the women that observe you. Keep reading, Knock. And I think it's an excellent thing, because this occurring put a righteous sister in position to save what? Her nation. A sister who actually gave a damn about something more than herself and her pain. Because listen, when you serve the Lord, it's pain. That's why it says when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. It's gonna be pain, because you can't put yourself first. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
So correcting her and taking her out of her position would make the women fear, like, dang, I don't want to go out like that.
Right.
She lost what she had for dishonoring her husband. But see, this is why, listen, man, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Because what he's done is he has incentivized our women to leave their men. And then there's no consequence. There is a consequence, but it's not one that they can sense. Right? Their sons are ending up in jail. Their daughters are on the stripper poles. They're going into their 40s and 50s with no man. Men coming in and out of the house. Right? Their children are repeating the same habits and whatnot, going off doing drugs and sleeping with random men, and their sons are putting away their women, throwing them away, or they're becoming of the LGBT community, right? But to them, they can't even see that as like damage. Because all they care about is I just gotta find me one good man. He gotta have good rod, and I'll be happy. He gotta just recognize me and embrace me. That's all they chasing. Right. It's the carrot that they chasing. So they don't even see the damage, but have destroyed themselves. So what does our oppressor do? Look, I'll give you subsidized housing. I'll give you the WIC, the TANF, the SNAP, the food stamps.
Right.
You're not doing him.
Right.
No consequence, but there is a consequence, right? She ate Eve ate it. She ate it. She ate it. And she suffered, but it wasn't even really like, in her head, it's like, oh, what did I do? Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, this is not like to be, I'm trying to be careful with my words, but sisters will always be going through something up here. The human mind by itself looks for problems. It's just that the Lord built men to try to solve them. Right. So we categorize, we prioritize. Okay, this is a problem, but I'm gonna do it like this. It's a problem, I'm gonna do it like this. That's why even sisters, when y'all talk to us and you're expressing how you feel, and we're trying to give you a solution that bothers you. It's like I don't need to answer. I'm just saying how I feel. All right, because the Lord built us to be solution orientated. But the idea of problems always being in your mind is always going to be there. So for y'all, that pain and that suffering is always going to be there. That's why when the Lord told Adam, he said, look, because you took heed to the voice of your wife.
Right.
What it's supposed to be like how we hear the ocean crashing against the beach.
Right.
Brothers, listen. When your rib is telling you what she's dealing with and going through, you listen to it in the same way how you listen to the wind. Right. It's blowing. The wind's blowing. The waters are crashing against the beach. Okay. I got it. You ain't got to, unless they're saying, look, help me with this problem, you ain't got to give a solution because they're not looking for that. So when that's why when you're dealing with, when you're dealing with something, you go to the men. You get counsel because they're going to give you a solution because that's what we're looking for. They're not necessarily looking for a solution. They're looking for, what's the word? I guess empathy. Okay. They just want to know that you understand where they're coming from. That's it. Am I wrong, y'all? No? Am I wrong? I'm asking.
I was going to use a different word.
What?
Attention. They don't want advice, they want attention.
Okay. Go ahead, sis.
You're not wrong 100%, but sometimes you do look for solutions. You're not always just looking for empathy.
Okay. No sweat. I just know in my experience, when the solution is offered, it's like, don't you hear me? I'm like, yeah, I heard. That's why I gave you a solution. But you're not hearing me. So I hear you, but I understand. No sweat. Brothers, y'all heard what I said, right? Okay. You know, the main thing is like, okay, I hear you. I understand. You know, because then you can say, well, is there anything that you would like me to do? Right. What did you say? Right, exactly. No. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep reading.
Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes.
Right. And
the king did according to the word of Memucan.
Right.
Verse 22. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof.
In the same way that she was going to embarrass him, to have everybody hear about what she did, he made sure that he let everybody know that that's not going to be tolerated. Right. You understand? And and see, right now, brothers, we have that in ISUPK. We have the ability to rule. Now, you can't make a sister do anything, but we have the ability and the freedom because Commander Johanna has given us our culture back to operate and function in this way. Now, brothers who are in the world, they're reduced to getting a dozen roses. Man, I'm seeing bouquets now that are just like, it's like bouquets for a Philistine.
Right, dang.
It was like, I mean, like, you know what I mean? And his sisters in dressed in, they're not dressed with the man. Like, they're not posing with the Valentine's bouquet with a man. They're posing by themselves. Or showing like, look, they sending this stuff to me. Right. I'm like, well, where's the man at? Right. They showing them at dinner by themselves. Like, Bro, I'm even seeing the videos on the TikTok where the brothers like this. They recording their plate.
Right.
And the brother's like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
I'm in this too.
Right.
I'm in the equation.
Right.
Bro, that's a low state. That's hell. Good night, man. Good night. You know what I'm saying? No. You don't get in. Had he let that go, that's what he would have been, a simp.
Right.
Her violating him after he provided her with everything that she needed to have the enjoyment or the me time that she needed, and then she disrespected him like that, and then to continue giving her that energy. No, that's not how the Lord wants this thing ran.
Right.
You understand? So what Mimikin told this king was correct. Put her out of her. You ain't got to divorce her, but put her out of her position. Get her out of the sight of everybody, and put someone up with with the right spirit and the right attitude.
Right.
And that gave way for our sister to get into position to save us. Keep reading out.
For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house.
That what?
That every man should bear rule in his own house.
Now listen, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. For me to submit, he got to be bringing that check in. For me to say, I'm gonna do what he say, listen to him and submit. He got to be handling his business. If you making less than me, I'm not gonna listen.
Right.
If I'm making 50,000 and you making 50,000, I'm not gonna just do what you say. You got some sisters that it's based on how the brother built.
Right.
Whether or not they're gonna listen.
Right.
Yeah. And why is that in play? Because you didn't have so many. How would you know? I'm just asking, how would you know? You only know because you didn't have so many.
Right.
That's not a credit to you. Oh, I need this, I want that. You're really telling who you are. You're showing that you're you're for the pavement.
Right.
Or you were for the pavement.
Right.
Public property. That's all I'm saying. Now it's getting bad, man. It's getting bad. I was watching these podcasts. These podcasts. I think that they're a great thing because you want to hear the minds of the people, and this is crazy. I'm watching a podcast. It's some people that are like around like 20 to 24, and they're having a conversation with a dude that's like 28. And they said to him, well, y'all older generation, raising traditional. He's 28. Brother, I'm an old man. I'm like, that's old? 28? And like, y'all old generation, y'all raising traditional values. It's like y'all have a closed mind. Because this young brother, he was 28, was saying, I don't want to deal with a woman who's out in the club who wears outfits that shows all of her body. It's gonna make me feel like I'm doing something wrong in the relationship. Because why are you out there advertising? Right. And then you had this young brother sitting next to these two sisters. I think he was Ephraim. He was like, nah, man, I want them to see my woman, how bad she is. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't insecure. She can dress how she want to dress, wherever she want to wear. I ain't got to be there because when she come home, it's going to be mine. What? Right. Bro, listen, brother, I didn't been in these clubs, man. They going to the bathrooms. They going to the corners. We didn't see it. Right. Listen. Good night. They didn't have the rings on, brother. Right? And they see these UPK brothers. We keeping it all the way righteous, but they ready to what she say? Hands on your knees. Right. Hands on your knees. Let that Quabah breathe. Yeah. That's what's going on. You're like, nah, we good. We too wild. I'm telling you. So all that, let her be free and go off and do what you do. That's not what's going on, man. And you a fool if you believe that. Right. And at the end of the day, you don't respect yourself as a man. But now, even the guidelines for what a man is and what a woman should be, it's all getting blurred now. The order is getting reversed. It's getting turned upside down. And what this king was trying to do was maintain order. Because if you don't have, listen, in Afghanistan, when America went into Afghanistan, they didn't. Yes, they were having a military assault against the Mujahideen? The Mujahideen, that was the military arm of Afghanistan, right? They didn't, of course, they were having their engagements with them, but in terms of who they actually went after, was the freedom for the women. They came in with a campaign for give the women freedom, give them education, take the burqas off, them covering their heads and covering their faces, and having to wear these long coverings, and let them be free. Because what? Go ahead, Doc.
If I could, sir. And immediately after that supposed campaign, it was winning the hearts and the minds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was all targeting the women, sir. So like,
what the American government understood is that if you want to upset the balance of a culture, it's the same thing that the serpent understood when he approached Eve: is go after the woman,
right.
go after her, because that's how you destabilize everything. So now America went there, right? They didn't have to wear their burqas. There's army bases there. There's military soldiers that they're dying, right? We know what they were really there for. Poppy fields. We ain't gonna get into that.
Right.
But they were allowed to go to college and get educated and all that, and not have to be, have the Taliban and go into house to house to see if he was keeping their laws and rules. As soon as the military left Afghanistan, the first thing the Taliban did was institute laws on the women.
Right.
It's the first thing they did, man. No more of this. No more you walking around burqas. They were trying. What were they doing? Now, do I agree with everything that? Listen, that's not my culture. I'm not talking about the way that they deal with their women is right and correct. But what I am saying is this: what they understood is that if you don't have the women under control, the other countries are not going to respect you. This is why we're not respected as a people. Because while we're talking about what our oppressor has done to us, our women are on poles, hands on your knees.
Right.
Let it breathe. Where Sukiana is having conversations with, talking about, hey, the reason I want to interview is because you're a musician. I ain't no musician. I don't be doing no magic tricks. I ain't pulling no rabbits out of no hats. No, Suki. That I think you might have misunderstood me. That's not. I said musician. I think you're confusing that with the magician. No, I ain't confusing anything. I don't think thinking this for hood for the hood for poor people. I know. This is what's going on. This is what's going on, and we take it light. Like when your husband gives you a command, he's thinking about a broader thing. But you want to hold your ground and resist and okay, that's fine. But what you're doing is while there are other nations moving around you, they're looking at that like, yeah, he ain't got no authority, no rule. He in there fighting with his woman. And then look, when we do get into a tussle with our women, what do? Who they calling? They calling the laws.
Right.
They call the serpent. They call the dragon to establish their independence, and that's okay. That's all right, because these same men that you disregard, when Christ come and we get crowned, if the Lord see fit, the dynamic is going to change. It's going to change. But no sweat. Let's keep reading. Salakia.
Sir. This is the book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased.
Listen, when a husband is upset at the disrespect from his wife, it's wrath that come from that, and it should be appeased. It got to get settled somehow. Oh, he tripping. He just mad. He over here just whine. No, when his wrath was appeased, when he handled the matter through counsel and through judgment, he felt better about it because he was disrespected. He was dishonored. He was dishonored as a man, as a husband, and as a ruler. That's why when Christ said a prophet is not without honor except where? In his own home. That's why it's so spiritual. A lot of times the things y'all do, y'all thinking like, but you're really just fulfilling the scriptures. Because everywhere else he go, he's respected as a what? As a prophet. Right. We out in these streets and we casting out demons off of our people that that are on drugs, that are out there whoring. They fall down and fall to tears and throw their lifestyle away and change their lives off of what the Lord give us to say. But then we come home and tell the thing that's closest to us, this is what needs to get done, and it's a fight. It's biblical. No sweat. It mean we doing our job.
Right.
Go ahead, Art.
He remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her.
He remembered. He remembered. Yeah, he remembers. Go ahead.
Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
What?
Let there be fair young virgins sought for the king.
As General Muhammad say, them sweet young tender things.
Right.
Go ahead.
And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom.
Man, make this like the business. Get some officers to locate.
Right.
Go ahead.
That they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan.
Fair means fine. Bad. PYT.
Right.
Go ahead.
Unto Shushan the palace, to the house, Salakia, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hedge, the king's chamberlain.
Y'all see these reality TV shows like the baddies and all that stuff? Like they got all these like what Blueface had all them girls up in his house and all that. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was like that, but that's what it was.
Right.
Get them all together, get all the ones that's just coming up, hitting 18, 19, 20, 21.
Right.
Bring them to that, bring them to the palace. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do the vetting process. That's what's going on. Go ahead.
Keeper of the women,
Mm-hmm.
and let their things for purification be given them.
For what?
Let their things for purification be given them.
That purification is them going through a process of like cleansing.
Right.
He didn't want to see him until they had been bathing in like, what's that, lavender and
Right.
what's all them bath and body works y'all be having, man? Them sweet smells. Oatmeal bath rubs and, you know. Yeah. He wanted to make sure that they was all smelling good. He didn't want no soupies and sexy rays in front of him. You know what I'm saying? He wanted them clean and sweet. Go ahead. The purification. Make sure they you know they didn't come out of these villages. I don't know how they live. Show them what the standard is. Go ahead.
And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti.
Bam. Go ahead.
And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
Right.
Now in Shushan the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai,
Right.
the son of Jair, the son of Shammai, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
A Benjamite. So this brother was a Benjamite, Mordecai. You understand? Which was a mighty brother. You understand? A man who feared the Most High. A man who cared about his people. You understand? Keep reading.
Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, a king of Judea. It's like a king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
So Mordecai had been in the kingdom since Babylon. Now, the captivity that occurred in Babylon was about, like, from Babylon, I want to say all the way down to before it hit the Greek captivity, was about 70 years. That's what was prophesied. You understand? So he had been around since the beginning. So he was a young man when he got carried away into the slavery of Babylon, but now he's an old man. But he feared the Lord. He was like one of the men that studied up under like Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He's one of them brothers that was watching them and grew up in the truth. Go ahead.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther.
And he brought up Hadassah. It said brought up means he reared her. He raised her. This is a sister who was raised under a righteous man. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, you can I haven't. I have met sisters that were raised by uncles, fathers. They have a different vibe to them, especially if these men were righteous men. You understand? It's a different like frequency that they operate under, because they have a respect for men. They have a respect for a man's counsel, a man's correction, because they've been under that their whole lives, as opposed to the women who've been raised by just their mothers. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the Lord set up the family the way He did, because a daughter who sees a mother who respects her husband, she's gonna look at her mom and look at him, and it's like it solidifies how she's gonna conduct herself for the most part. But even if a daughter just is with her father and the mother's not there, that she's gonna be like, well, I love my father, I respect my father, so I respect men. Even I mean, it's been some sisters who've been raised by their father and have brothers.
Right.
They got a different kind of a spirit.
Right.
But even if you've never had that, that's not like an indictment. Because if you haven't had that and you come into the truth and you want to know the truth, you'll have a camp leader. You'll have brothers in the school. And if you have the ability to yield yourself to them, then you're gonna grow into that as well. You understand? But at the end of the day, it's having respect for authority, because like the scriptures say that Christ is the head of man. We as men who feel like we're our own rulers of ourselves, we have to yield and submit ourselves to Christ.
Right.
Now, does that mean that we like these fake Christian groups? I serve Christ. Who do you report to? Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Yahweh Shai ain't talking to us. You understand? We submit ourselves to the men that are above us. You understand? We don't even have the audacity to be like Christ even look at us.
Right.
You understand? Because if I can't submit to my camp leader, how am I going to submit to Christ? Right. If you can't submit to your husband, how are you submitting to Christ? You're not. You're fake. You're fake. And if you disrespect your husband, you disrespect Christ. Well, Christ don't talk like how you talk. Okay. All right. When John heard him speak, what did it say? He had a voice like what? Many waters.
Right.
It ain't talking about a calm pond. It's talking about a raging, torrential ocean.
Right.
It's loud. It's torrential. It's thunderous. Go ahead, Ox.
That is Esther, his uncle's daughter.
Right.
For she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful.
Right.
When Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
Man, honorable man. You know what I'm saying? Honorable. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. Like, it's so important that a lot right now, what you see, the phenomenon that you see on Instagram, on Snapchat, TikTok, sisters are you can tell too. It's getting to the point now. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a man. I see certain stuff like, dang, she back. But now it's like it's all these quotes and I stay out the way. I don't give my attention to many people, right? But they posing with they behind out. Right. Then I seen this one post from the sister, just what she had on, just anybody could see everything she got, right? She said, if you're not trying to date me with intentionality, don't even hit me up. But she's posting this picture. I'm like, intentionality? What's your intention?
Right.
You showing all that.
Right.
Right? Like in their mind, because they didn't have a Mordecai to bring them under their wing, and because with the sister or with the young lady, you have to put inside of her that she's more than her body. That her value is more than her physical appeal. Sisters who rely on their physical appeal is because they know they're empty and bankrupt with anything else on the inside. But that's the job of a righteous man, a father figure, whatever you want to call it, is to install inside of her other attributes and qualities so she knows she has more to rely on than her appearance. Right. And that's what the Lord said. What's that? Give me that in 1 Peter, the outward adornment. We'll read that real quick. You have to do that because a sister's I don't want to use the word ego. Ego is the wrong word. It's her self-image or her view of herself is very fragile.
Right.
And you have some sisters, because of what they've been through and what they've gone through in life, you can't really shake them because they know who they are, not because of how they look, but because of what they've endured in life or what they've accomplished. But a lot of these young women or young sisters are being reared up, and it's strictly off of their appearance. That's why you have that's why the BBLs are so out there right now.
Right.
Because they feel like their only value is in their body. That in order for me to achieve happiness or to find a man, I gotta make this body look like this. Not about what's inside their head or the spirit that they carry. You found that out? Yeah. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of
BBLs.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Right, the spirit, the mind. What you like how Mordecai did with Hadassah, with Esther. The morality and the character, the manner in which she conducts herself, the respect that she has for the order. Go ahead. No, you're good. It's him. Go ahead.
Come to the concept.
No. It's was there more than that?
Concept.
Go ahead.
In that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
Right. Now, what does it mean, that which is not corruptible? These sisters, like, have you seen the sisters that are in their 50s and 40s that have the BBLs?
Right.
They're looking crazy. The Instagram models that were hot 10 years ago are looking crazy right now.
Right.
Like, I ain't gonna say her name, but there's one in particular, man. This is when the term video vixen was like a live term back when I was coming up. And this sister, man, she was like a top video model. And now she's reduced to being a co-host on a podcast.
Right.
And don't she look crazy? No husband.
Facts.
And now it's about how men deal and right. But when using the videos and you know what I mean, and doing the threesomes with the rappers and all that, it wasn't about all this women empowerment and how men, the gaslighting and men gaslight and toxic masculinity, because you had the body and you was getting the attention.
Right.
Now your flowers starting to fade, the petals are starting to wither. You don't have that same appeal that you had when you was in your 20s, in your mid 20s and late 20s. Now you're in your 30s, 40s, and going into your 50s, and you can't compete no more. But this is the heavy part. If your value is not in your body, you ain't got to compete on that level.
Right.
Don't you know? I don't even want to go there. Like, don't y'all understand that the Lord said that when He come, He gonna give new bodies, right? He gonna do it. That's not important. But He's not. He's giving it to those who have morality. Morality. The morality is the immortality. The morality is that which can't perish. This is what Mordecai was raising her to be. Because in this captivity that we're in right now, a lot of y'all are choosing the outward adornment instead of the character.
Right.
And that's why, as a nation, like the priest said earlier, why we're losing. Because we're choosing the money, the sense of independence over the order of the Lord. Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 8. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house, to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women.
Uh-huh.
And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him. And he speedily gave her the things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens which were meet to be given her out of the king's house.
Right. Because of the character that she had and how she conducted, she was pretty, but there was a lot of pretty women there. But now when everybody's pretty, like you on Instagram is crazy. It's always these quotes about how they're different. You you can't, I don't compete, right? So they're showing their body. But all these women were top tier and beautiful. But what distinguished her from everybody else? The fact that Mordecai had raised her. So she knew how to move. Right. Like Jay say, how to move in a room full of vultures. Right. She knew how to move. So the brother that was assigned over them was like, okay, she different. Let me put her over here and give her 7 maids to give her what she needs. All right. She knew how to conduct herself. What's going to distinguish you is not how you look, it's how you act. Keep reading.
And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women.
And let me tell you this: in the ISUPK, for the sisters that put in requests for brothers, or if they're looking for a husband, you gotta understand, it's your camp leader. That's what this brother is.
Right.
He's looking and watching how you move.
Right.
So best believe, and even if you're not available, Whether you're available or single or not, you're getting talked about. Your conduct and what you're doing or not doing is being discussed.
Right.
The same way we are.
Right.
But the brothers ain't exempt. That's why I say there's no male or female in Christ. We all one in Christ, meaning we're all under the same thing. You don't get judged for your talking; you get judged for your works,
Right.
what you do. So, if you want to have, you want to get. I mean, I ain't saying be a, I don't like the word pick me,
Right.
but if you want to get picked, then you gotta make sure that you're conducting yourself in the right manner.
Right.
If that's what you want, because brothers are watching. And they're reporting.
Right.
And this brother was watching like, okay, I see this sister. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Ark.
Sir. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred.
Right.
For Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Now, what does that show you, man? Esther know how to follow orders.
Right.
Hey, don't do this. Do this. Con. And she did it. Go ahead.
And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
He checking every day. Right? Getting them reports. How she moving? How she doing? Go ahead. That's like the camp leader. He checking in. What's going down? What's going on?
Right.
Now look, that'd be like, why he so concerned about how she doing? She the one that's up there, going through it.
Right.
Why is his business for? She her own woman. Okay. Go ahead, Ark.
Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purifications accomplished. To wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women.
I want to ask y'all something. If I could, what does this remind y'all of? Or the brothers too? What does this remind y'all of? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Is there anybody in the chat that want to give it up? Who want to give it up? Because I don't mind giving it up.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead, Ark, please.
Protocol.
Protocol?
Sir.
But whatever do you mean?
Well, it says that the brother that the sister is off limits for 6 months. You know
What?
I'm saying? That the sister is off limits for 6 months.
After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Hold on. Wait. Let me. No. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months.
Right.
They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. Purification. And then there's another 6 months. Right? Another 6 months. So she went through 6 months of shedding herself of what she knew and what she understood. Then another 6 months to where she's actually seeing how the king wants to be dealt with and learning him. That's what we're saying. But this thing originated with them. This originated with our culture, with our people.
Right.
Keep reading, Knock.
Sir. Then thus came every maiden unto the king. Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house.
Good night.
In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the women, to the custody of Shaashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by their name.
Yeah, man, because see, the king was going through like a vetting process. Like, and I hate to say it like this. Y'all seen the videos like with the 20 verse 1? Where it'd be like, Quavo and these little young rappers, and it'd be 20 women that they present. Right. And it's like they base it off of Tinder. So it's like swipe left, swipe right. I'm an old brother, so I ain't on Tinder or nothing like that. But it was a swipe left, swipe right. So, and they would show the X's or the checks. That's how I'll be on the app. So they do it in the videos. So it's 20 women that are there trying to get chose. And I seen one with like Waka Flocka. They did one with like Charleston White. The women come and present themselves, and they're like, "Oh, I'm this person." Okay, yeah, left. Oh, which one to ask me? Okay. If they like what they have to say, they put them to the left. If not, they put them to the right. Right. That's now what's going on right now. That's a simpler, more carnal version. But what he was doing was he was basically doing an interview because he knew if he chose her to be a queen, he didn't want to go through what again? What he went through with Vashti. He had to learn because it probably was an arranged marriage.
Right.
Like a lot of times during that time period, marriages were like political movements. And in order for you to have an alliance with another country or a strong family or house, you would marry the daughter of a powerful ally, whether from your same country or from another country, to strengthen like the political bonds. But you don't necessarily know who you're getting. So once that occurred with Vashti, he was like, I'm not going to go through that again. So when I choose this one this time, I'm going to make sure that I vet her. This is why you have the men above us in the school who say, give her the 6 months, give her the year to know who you're choosing. Because once you choose her, you can't just throw her away. Right. So you take your time. Because this is who's gonna raise your children and who's gonna be dealing with you for the rest of your life. So choose wisely. So yeah, he would see Esther, and then she wouldn't come unless he said, "Yo, bring her to me," because he's analyzing everybody. Go ahead, Art.
Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go into the king, she required nothing but what Haggai the king's chamberlain selected. She required nothing but what Haggai the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed.
Hold on a second. If I could, what does that mean? Read it again, Art.
Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go into the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of women, appointed.
What's that mean? What is it saying? Because really, it's not really what it's saying. It's what it's not saying.
She was satisfied with what she received.
Give me some more.
She accepted her 3 hots in the cot, and she didn't ask for no more, no less. She was just
give her a hand. Get her sister a hand. That's exactly right. And now check this out, right? Now, I know I keep going into our current culture. I watched the 20 verse 1 with Bow Wow. Bow Wow's in the chair. You got 20 verse 1. They ain't a line. The sisters, right? I think it's just say, well, how much you got on you right now? He pulls out I think it's like at least 40,000. 3 women came and ran up to the front. It was a line. They ran to the front. I was like, I need that. Now this is Bow Wow. He ain't nobody to be revered or admired or looked at as a template for manhood. But he was disgusted. He was like, okay, yeah, I got this, but why you run to the front? Oh, I'm just saying because if you got it, I mean, I need it. He was just like, oh my God. Right? Because now to her it was like, I'm going to get what I need. Right. But to him, what did I tell him? She don't want me, she just want the money. Right. So because of the way Mordecai raised Esther, whatever you give me, I can make it do. And you got sisters like that. You got sisters like that. They gonna make it work. And they're not gonna complain about it. And she knew I don't need more than what's been given to me. But is that the culture that we have right now? And I don't know at this point if it's for to go viral. But I'm hearing sisters say brothers are asking sister, she got 2 kids. Hey, how much your brother got to make to get with you? Oh, about a quarter ticket, $250,000 a year. I mean, at the lowest I'll take $150,000. Right. I'm like, good night. Where them 2 kids come from? How much he made?
Oh,
I mean, look, he worked at Golden Corral, but I'm not finna settle.
right.
I'm manifesting. Look, I'm manifesting my ideal husband. This is the age of Aquarius. It's about manifesting.
Thanks.
Don't settle. We ain't gotta settle. And the Lord will pour upon them strong delusion.
Real talk. That was like it's about good.
Please, I want you to, brother. I
Nah,
don't want to be the only one. You know what I'm saying?
it's heavy
Please.
because every time they get answered that question, like he got to make a quarter ticket or you know what I'm saying, a half a ticket or whatever. It's like, and they always say to furnish my lifestyle. And I said, well, what do you do? Oh, I work at the daycare. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, you not
I work at Popeyes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
And look, man,
what
Popeyes
lifestyle are you
good.
talking? You know what I'm saying? So like it, sir.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy, man.
Yeah. It's heavy. What I'm trying to highlight is the spirit of this sister Esther.
Right,
And I'm gonna be real with you. The sisters in ISUPK, that's how they operate.
right.
They do. They make do with what they have. And because Commander General Yohana has laid down what Christ has given, our sisters will not only do they make do for their households, but they make do for our people. We've had two in Killeen, but across our nation. I mean, all the cities of all the cities of the United States. Commander Yohana has schools in the majority of the cities. With the little that our sisters have, because without our sisters, we couldn't do the things that we do.
That's right.
They took the little that they had and fed over 80 people, at least in our, I know for in our city, and they did it on 2 occasions.
Real talk.
Took what they had for their households, and they gave it to our people with what they had, and made it happen, and the Lord multiplied it, multiplied it. You understand? And that came because of Command General Yohana.
Right.
And like how he said, we used to get criticized for coming down hard on our sisters. And they were saying that we're being abusive and we're trying to make, want them barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. When the product of that is that they're out here feeding our people who have nobody to feed them and have nobody to help them,
right,
and to clothe them. So how do you say that Commander Yohana is not the leader of our nation, and he's producing these results? That must be my job. Yeah. Yeah. You go ahead and get one out. But you understand? So yeah, we trust Commander General Yohana because we see the fruit, you know what I'm saying, of this tree. The fruit of the tree, the ISUPK, is bearing good fruit. So it's bearing good fruit. Okay? Keep reading out.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken into King Ahasuerus unto his house, royal in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Uh-huh.
And the king loved Esther above all women.
He did, huh?
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
Now, listen. We're not really going to, we almost at the close. We ain't really about to go past this. Tomorrow's going to be the closing. You're going to need to tap into ISUPK Austin, where Captain Yatazak is going to close out the Feast of Purim. And he's going to go into the whole spirit of the entire feast. You understand? This is only a portion of it that I'm dealing with. But Captain Yatazak of 10,000 is going to be teaching in ISUPK Austin tomorrow at 7 p.m. And y'all need to tap in. But what I'm highlighting is this, is that Esther was in captivity. The Persians, the Elamites were in the Iranians were in rule over our people. And because she was raised by a righteous man, she was getting put in a position to be able to be an advocate for her people. Whenever you receive power, whether it be a career position, income, influence, if you fear the Lord, if you fear God, and you're a Black Hispanic or Native Indian woman, your thoughts should be, how can I honor my husband How can I help my people? That should be what's inside of your spirit. If you're trying to gain income and trying to gain notoriety or power, for what? For what? For what purpose? To give yourself comfort? For just for your family? That's not the time that we're in. Keep reading, Art.
Concert. So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Because she listened to Mordecai, because that wasn't her father, her mother. That was her camp leader. Right. Because she listened to him, right, she was honored and put in position. Keep reading, Art.
Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
What's the comparison culturally right now to Esther and this heathen? Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. Right. Barack Obama is not our people. Right. But Michelle Obama was made prominent. That's right. For marrying him. Did she understand her position? No. But you can by understanding these records. Right. Now, am I saying that you need to marry a heathen? No. But I'm just telling you, if you gain power in this society, in our captivity, what the Lord wants you to do, where he wants your mind to be at. How can what I'm doing benefit my husband or benefit my people? That's how you should be thinking. Keep reading, Art.
And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people.
Right. She ain't revealed what her nationality was. She just was exotic. Right. Go ahead.
As Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
Dang, read that again.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
She wasn't a Vashti. Because listen, if she gonna listen to Mordecai, she gonna listen to what? The Lord. Right. She followed her camp leader's orders. She was subjected. She was trained. I don't like that. Trained. I mean, everybody got to train me. I ain't no dog. All right. Go ahead.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai like as when she was brought up with him. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gates, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
Dang. Mordecai didn't even go to the king. He was like, yo, tell the king that these two foul suckers is plotting on his life. Right. That's that. Oh, my goodness, man. And let me tell you something about Officer Karab, camp leader of ISUPK Killeen, man. This brother got a Mordecai spirit, man.
Right.
He keep it P all the way through.
Right.
You understand? He ain't put himself out there in the front. Right. He just put it in her ear, and she put it in the king's ear. He wasn't trying to get a name, a reputation. He just wanted to make sure that the king was protected. Right. Go ahead, Art. Keep reading.
And when the inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree.
Most High in Christ.
And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
We don't support traitors and suckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On any level. Let's go ahead and skip down to, let me see this. Go to chapter 3. What verse we on? We at chapter 3?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to stop at, we're going to stop at 14, 3 to 14, and we're going to stop.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
Why is Agagite important? I'm gonna give y'all the history. Agagite is talking about Agag. Agag was a Amalekite, right. Amalek. Amalek is a tribe that descends from Edom. The Lord had commanded the Israelites, King Saul in particular, to slay all the Amalekites. Why? Because when we were leaving Egypt, they came from behind us. All right. When we passed through their land, they didn't give us bread and water. They said, no, don't, you ain't getting no bread and water. Keep it moving. And we was like, all right, fine, we'll keep it moving. And when we kept it moving, they came from behind us and they slaughtered the elderly and the young and the sick. And the Lord saw it. Because the military, the men, we was out in the front.
Right.
Because as men, we like, oh, it's going to come from the front. They came from the back and attacked the weak. So the Lord said, from generation to generation, we warn with them.
Right.
So now, this happened, now by the time King Saul's in power, this is like about 400 to 800 years later. And the Lord tells King Saul, yo, because of what they did to y'all back then, kill everybody.
Right.
So like unalive everybody.
Right.
The men, the women, the children, and the animals.
Right.
Y'all know how that go. If someone's kicking the door in and the pets get taken out, it's a problem. You didn't violate it. And they didn't kill the dogs and the cats. Golly. Right? He said, get rid of them all. What Saul do? Saul, a Benjamite, he spared King Agag. This is who Haman was a descendant of, King Agag. And now listen, Samuel ended up taking out Agag, but in him sparing Agag, there were some Agagites that were spared. And because Saul didn't do what the Lord said, 800 years later in Persia, now you have the entire nations, the threat of their annihilation. And what's the word when you genocide? Because you ain't followed the order of the Lord 800 years ago. You disobeying the Lord right now is going to have an impact on your generations, your descendants down the line, and you don't even realize it. You taking this thing as a light thing, as a small thing, and it's going to have an impact generations down. This is who Haman is a descendant of. Keep reading, Knock.
And advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not.
He did what?
Mordecai bowed not.
Command General Yohanan. It's the same spirit. Because why? Mordecai knew the genealogy. When he heard Haman the Agagite, Mordecai knew who King Saul was. He knew who Agag was. I'm not finna bow to this dude. He's an imposter.
Right.
And he's who the Lord wanted destroyed anyway.
Right.
I'm not bound to you. You know?
Right.
And it went on no pride stuff, because when he saved the king, he had Esther do it. Right, but I ain't finna bow to you though. Keep reading.
Nor did reverence him. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spoke daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them.
Right. I ain't trying to hear all that, man. I do my job. Like, you got these suckers on your slave, man. When the supervisor come around, they want you to, like to do the shuffle.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Nah. I mean, I'm gonna do my job, and that's it. All that extra stuff is not required. Mordecai wasn't no sucker. He wasn't no bootlicker. You got brothers, man. Good night. Hey man, shout out to famous Richard out there with on King David.
Right.
Out there, you know what I'm saying, on them imposters.
Right.
He's not even in the truth. But just him doing the mockery of them is beautiful to me. Because you got brothers right now. Captain Desart put the video up. I think this is back when it's Captain Desart with the braids. And he got a brother that came up under the Amalekites, who you would call today the so-called Jewish man. That's who they are. And you got brothers who feel like in order for them to learn the truth about their culture, you got to learn it through them, the imposters, the ones that stole our identity, with the Shirley Temple cues, curly cues on the side of their head. You understand? A disgusting people. of filthy people who the scriptures call the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
Who the Lord said he going to make them bow down to us to make them know that he's loved us. That's why I'm saying, really, what Famous Richard is doing, it's in the spirit of the Lord. The Lord has him doing that. He ain't in the truth. He out there, Chicago brother, wilding. But the Lord got him doing that because the truth is coming out. The earth is opening up and helping the woman. Right. The archaeology, the knowledge, the history is getting revealed. Who the true Jews are, who the true Israelites are. And Amalek is these, what you want to call the small black hats, the small hats, that's them. Or weak people, imposters, Khazars, who stole our culture and identity. And now you got brothers who go and try to learn from them and come up under they tutelage, the Talmud and all that other garbage. Right. They don't want to, because it's a Sabbath day, they got blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians cutting their lights off for them and pressing elevator buttons because they can't work on the Sabbath. They got tissue stacks because they can't pull tissue from the roll on the Sabbath. And you learn it from them. This sound foreign to you? Salakia. Let me move on, man. Go ahead, Ark.
Sir. Now when it came to pass, when they spoke daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand.
Let me tell you something. What Kanye West is going through right now, he got his new album out, Vultures, and these TMZ reporters are coming to him saying, are you going to rescind your comments about, of anti-Semitism? That's that. Bow to Haman. Right. How come you ain't respecting Haman? Right. He was like, blacks, we can't be anti-Semite. We're a Jew. Right. They want him to bow down to Haman. Right. We've been reared under Commander General Yohana, under Mordecai. Right. We not bowing, and we ain't worried about it. Right. Because we know what we dealing with. That's what they trying to do. What they did to Nick Cannon, they came at Nick Cannon when he was like, kind of getting into it, right. And then he went on the tour to understand. He went and visited all the Holocaust museums and all that, and took back his words. They made him bow. I ain't gonna say because Captain Zark already dealt with it, so I'm gonna leave that alone. It's a lot of our people that are bowing down to the oppressor because they scared of losing their position, their seat with the Romans, right? Because it seems like they holding all the purse strings. And go ahead, Art, please.
No, if I could, no, so like it, sir, just like that Black Watch, that Commander General Hunter did the other week with the whole Benzino situation.
Man, that was crazy, man. Go ahead, I'll get into it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just gonna say that's the same thing, man. Like he's going at that devil Eminem, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like he's coming out publicly saying, like, basically pleading to these Amalekites to not cancel him, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of going to the same thing. So like you said.
And he was saying about how his daughter, the battle he's having with his daughter, where his daughter had to go not speak against Eminem because she want her career to get ruined. Right. This thing is serious, man. We at war. That's why Judith, Susanna, Deborah, these sisters, they made a decision. They didn't take the oath lightly. They understood that it's a war outside that nobody's safe from. Right. And it's finna hit your front door. And if you ain't made the decision, if you over here still playing back and forth with it, when it goes down, I mean, AT&T shut down this morning. Half the day, no phone service. It'll be back up. Right. Okay. Gotta make my store run. The food will be on the shelf. Okay. Electricity going. I paid my bill. Lights will be on. Okay. All right. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. What hit our people came out of nowhere to them, and it was made law. Keep reading, Salakia.
Come on, sir. For he had told them that he was a Jew. Uh-huh. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not,
he told him he was a Jew.
Come on, sir.
The real Jews are black.
Real talk.
under Command General Yohana
Real talk.
since 1969.
That's right.
Go ahead, Doc.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
Look, we the children of Mordecai. We not bowing, but we making y'all bow.
Right.
Ain't that why it's some brothers that's upset and
Right.
trying to remove the reputation of Captain Tazariak, who has an unblemished,
Right.
blameless reputation in the school and in the world? But y'all mad because, our school has our enemies saying that they apologize for the crimes and atrocities committed against our people.
Right.
No, we don't bow to them. The Lord said he would have them bow to us.
Right.
It's the Lord doing it, and we're not forcing nobody.
Right.
Standing on business,
Real talk.
that ain't the Drewski thing. That's Command General Yohana.
Right.
He got us standing on business.
Right.
We standing and they bowing. Go ahead, Art.
And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Yo, he was like, who is this? Who is this dude here? I'm gonna take him out. But then when he's like, no, it ain't just him, it's his people.
Damn.
I'm taking them all out. When you stand up for the truth, you're gonna have enemies, but we still not bowing.
Right.
Go ahead, Art.
Even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot before Haman, from the day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar.
He said they cast pur. How you say it in Hebrew, Art? Pawar. That's the Persian word for lots. They cast lots. So when you want to understand what the Feast of Purim is, it's the Feast of Lots. What's lots? What your auntie and grandma used to get mad about for the niggas out in the back, what they was doing behind the church, throwing dice.
Right.
But our enemies cast lots to decide on what day they would destroy our people. So when it says they went from day to day and month to month, they cast lots for the day. They cast lots for the month before Haman. Okay, what day we going to do this and move on them? Like the scripture say in Psalm 83, they have conspired against us. They are confederate against us, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right.
This is why Commander Yohana says, he's only teaching us what the law says. We're not to vote for anybody that the Lord hasn't chosen. Commander Yohana didn't choose himself. He was raised up and put in that position. So the Lord chose him. He didn't choose himself. We can't go and choose a politician that's being appointed by our oppressors. That was the Pharisees. If we let Christ continue and they all believe on him, we'll lose our seat with the Romans. We can't violate that law. We already have a king that's elected, Yahushua. That's it. And if they're not representing him, we can't follow them. They cast lots, man.
Verse
But
8.
hold on. Let me get that scripture, man. Give me the scripture, Carpazar. Let me tell you something, man. Like I said, we about to shut this down. It's 9:08. We're gonna be done by 9:30. But let me tell you something. They cast lots against us, and they doing this every day in Congress, in the House of Senate, in the House of Representatives. They're writing legislation to destroy our people. They've been doing it since we got here, man. They cast lots against us. How can we destroy them? Ronald Reagan and Oliver North, COINTELPRO. What was the dude of the CIA, the head of the CIA? J. Edgar Hoover, the water sis. We cannot allow a black messiah to rise and galvanize their community. They have been casting lots against us from the beginning.
Right.
This is nothing new under the sun. Why am I saying this? Because, sisters, your position in this fight, you better choose now. It's up to you. mean, you're gonna be remembered either way. Either way, you're gonna be remembered. I mean, Christ said Lot's wife. Remember Lot's wife. Remember her. Then Deborah's remembered.
Right.
Susanna's remembered.
Right.
Judas remembered. But what are you going to be remembered for?
Right.
Esther is remembered. But what are you going to be remembered for? Standing for your people or arguing with your husband? Telling him no. And, and I made this post the other day. I'm going to say it. What you tell yourself about yourself ain't got a goddamn thing to do with what the angels report to the Lord.
Right.
What you have in your head about yourself or your situation don't have anything to do with what the angels are reporting to the Lord. Go ahead, Art.
No concern. Verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people.
They're what? They're scattered abroad and what?
And dispersed.
Damn, that sounds familiar, right? I will scatter you and disperse you amongst your enemies. Go ahead.
Among all the people in the provinces of thy kingdom.
That sound like Israelites. That sound like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
And their laws are diverse from all people.
Diverse, which means they're separate from everybody else.
Right.
This is a holy people. Go ahead.
Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Right. So because these people were separate from the heathen, we got to destroy them. Go ahead.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business.
He put a bounty on him. He put a bounty on our heads. The nation. 10,000 talents. Listen. Imagine $100 million. Imagine Elon Musk saying, I put a bounty on taking out all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right. And
I'm going to pay every nation or ethnicity in whatever city they're in to take them out, like the purge. I'm gonna pay y'all to have a purge on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and you're free from any prosecution. Go ahead, Art.
To bring it into the king's treasuries. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was it written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and the governors that were over every province.
This is happening in the highest levels of legislation, in the highest levels of government. This is being written as a law. Go ahead.
And to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all feel so comfortable in America. Let Trump get back in the office. Let things go haywire and the grid goes down, the EMP goes off. And the little oppressors' parents that you send your kids to school with. Oh, they would never do this. Oh, hey. Okay. You think that it can't be made a law when it becomes lawless for your kids and your children to be hunted? Who are you going to rely on then? Is it going to be toxic masculinity then?
Right.
Who are you going to rely on then to defend you and your babies? You're so comfortable in America. You're so comfortable in this society when they hate you. They shooting you under color of law right now. And getting what? Temporary leave, right. Administrative leave, right. With pay. When it all goes to hell, I need to go to Walmart and go get some food. Okay. Go ahead.
And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day.
You think that's the past, right? That was back then. It couldn't happen again. All right. Hey, shout out to ISUPK South Carolina, Command General Yohana. That's true hospitality. That was beautiful. All the sewing machines. We love to sew.
Right.
We love to stitch all manner of fabrics. And it was beautiful. All the different needles and machines. And you know, we here in Killeen, we got our sewing machines as well. And we want to make the most beautiful garments and fabrics possible on behalf of Command General Yohana and our King. We're ready to stitch. Go ahead, Ak.
Even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
To do what?
Take the spoil of them for a prey.
It was putting into law that whenever you see a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you can take them, kill them, and rob them. It's law. This is what got put out. You don't know that feeling. We just feel it when the light, the red, white, and blue lights come on behind us, right?
Right.
But now it's law for them to take us out. Not just them, but the local citizens that are not our people. Go ahead.
The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day.
What does that mean? This was done in the month of Nisan, meaning the first month. So in the first month, this law was established and written, and it gave them 12 months to prepare against that day, meaning that y'all get ready. In a year's time, this is coming into effect, and you can take them out. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Today was a little brief example of what could possibly happen.
Right.
When there is no rule of law, it's gonna be the beasts of the field, and they're gonna be looking at our people as prey. So you sisters who have power and the ability to earn or have influence, find you a Mordecai. Whatever city you in, find your local ISUPK camp leader, get in alignment so you can be a part of the salvation and the freedom of our people, and to be able to help our people. You understand? Not take on the ways of that heathen woman Vashti, and be opposed to your power, to your rulership, man. You understand? Contribute and be a helpmeet to the salvation of your people, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, a time is coming. It's a time that's coming, and it's coming soon. We like I said, today was AT&T was a little glimpse, but it's gonna come to where all you're gonna have to look to. What's that? We read that on I want to say it's Isaiah 32, where it says a man will be a shade in a weary land, right, and a cover from a stormy tempest.
Right.
You're gonna be looking for a man that's willing to stand and die for you, and those are the men in the ISUPK. So, like I said, the closing of the feast is gonna be in Austin, Texas, with Captain Yatazak. He's gonna go ahead and close this feast out, close out the understanding of this feast. We're gonna go ahead and close out, and with that, I imagine we're gonna stand and do a courtesy salute. You can raise that up, Art. A courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
That's Matah, Sar, turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atam Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Yahweh Shemal Atam Ba'Shem Yahushai.
That's Matah, class dismissed.